Welcome to Simply Balance, you guys. My name is David Gensheimer, and in this video, we are going to be replacing the upholstery on the Allegro True Reformers from Balance Body. It can seem like a pretty daunting task at first, but it's actually quite easy. It just takes about 30 to 40 minutes of your time to actually put the new upholstery on. And everything you need is actually coming in the box. So all you need are the 2 Allen keys that come with your new upholstery from Balance Body. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into this. But before we do that, smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. It will really help us out. Okay, let's get right into the unboxing of our new upholstery. Now, it says do not use a sharp object. I personally have found that it's really not that big of a deal as long as you don't go too deep into the cardboard when you do this. I say when you're going on the sides, it's not that big of a deal. On the top here, just go real gently, cut through the top, because I don't know of many people that can open this, or what else to open it with besides tape. And there you go. Most of the time when they store this, at least from what I've found, they store it with the wood surface up, which is excellent for us. But once again, just be careful when you are doing that, you guys. What we get is our lovely upholstery. Let's go ahead and get all of this unboxed. Before we move on, can't forget your tools. They are stored inside this little soft container, and it has replacement bolts for the headrest. Okay, so now what do you get in this? You get your Allen key, your 2 different Allen keys, as well as your replacement piece for the headrest. Before we flip it onto its side, we need to remove the shoulder pads and the straps from the machine so that they don't get in the way. And I also find it's good to put the headrest down and out of the way. Now we're going to take our Allen key and we're going to go unscrew all 4 of those bolts. This is going to take quite a bit of time, so we're going to try to do a little fast forward here as well. So if you can see, right up in here are these little spots that we're going to be unscrewing. There's 4 on the top, and there is 4 on the bottom. I find it best if you take it, insert your Allen wrench, and then you rotate it with the small end first and break the seal. Once you've broken the seal, then you're going to insert it in long ways like so, and then you're going to be rotating it long ways. I need to break that seal a little bit more. Like there, and then let's try that again, and it should rotate easily, coming out like so. And that is one of the reasons why they made the Allen keys so long, so that you can really get up in there to where that screw is and pull it out all the way, like so. Quick helpful tip, when you're on your final screw, I would recommend actually lifting up on the back side of the carriage just a little bit so that it's not putting pressure on the threads of the screw. So let's go ahead and get this guy in here, get a little lift, and then continually unscrew that guy. Once we finish that, you guys, we're going to go ahead and flip the carriage back down so we can remove the headrest portion and then take the whole entire piece off. Now that we have the carriage flipped back over, on the back side here we have the headrest, and actually what you're going to notice is that when we lift this headrest up, there's a little hook there that we're going to actually have to pull out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a little wiggle. It's gonna pop up. You're gonna have to pull it off of these shoulder pads. And then from here, we're gonna give that back side a little wiggle to get the headrest out of that little cut piece here. So this little hook on the back end here, we're trying to pull outside of this. Now, if you notice, it's quite dirty in here. That's pretty common after 5 or 6 years of having the upholstery on there. So we're gonna go ahead and clean this up real quick, and then we're gonna get ready to put the new upholstery back on. The next thing that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna actually have to remove this little metal piece here on the old upholstery. So what we're gonna do is I like to actually loosen all of these bolts up here once you guys have released those bolts. We'll have to save some of this hardware here. So all of these guys need to be loosened up. Once you get these pieces off, you're gonna make sure to save them over here to the side because we're gonna have to reuse some of the hardware on here. Okay, this piece right here, we actually have a new one of these to put on our new upholstery. So we can actually leave that. We can actually just take this little piece and get rid of it. There we go, so we'll set that to the side. So let's get our new upholstery on here. So now we have our new upholstery. We have all our original hardware here as well as our new piece that we're gonna be installing. And we're gonna keep also the original lever that we used for the headrest as well. And so we're gonna reinstall everything basically in reverse of the first way we did it. First you gotta hook that little piece on, and then we're gonna screw it in to here. Now I'll say this, don't tighten that down too much because we still need to install our other two pieces here. I personally like to install this one next. So we're gonna put that little piece in. We're gonna take one of our screws, get our washer, and we're gonna line everything up. And we're gonna try to screw all of that back in. Once again, we don't wanna go too tight here because we still need to be able to install the other piece, and this needs to be able to move freely. Take our little piece, washer, and screw that in. I like to get it started by hand. Same thing. Put this piece on. Now if you have some Loctite and you want to use some Loctite on these screws, you're more than welcome to kind of hold them in place and keep them from sliding out. I find that to be helpful. So we want to test, and then I like to crank it down just a little bit, test it again, crank it down just a little bit, test it again, and we just want to make sure that it moves freely, but we also need these to be as tight as we can while it still moves as freely as possible so that they don't come out. There we go, I think we're all set. Now we're gonna reverse that whole entire process, take that new piece of upholstery, flip it over, and we're gonna get that headrest first set to where it slides inside, and there you go, it happened to slide all the way inside already on its own. Then we're gonna release the headrest so that we can get this to sit on top of the two spots where the shoulder pads are supposed to go. Now from here, we're gonna flip this lovely reformer back over, and we're gonna put all of our original screws back into their original places. Quick tip with this, in the same way that we were removing the last few screws, we're gonna have to keep a little bit of tension up when we're putting in the first few screws. I would recommend actually putting in some of the top screws first, and then coming in later and putting down the bottom screws that are down below. And that's it. So hopefully this information was helpful for you in replacing your upholstery on your Allegro 2s. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment below, and we'll do our best to try to get to them. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.